the only other full team that's roaming ready and kicking into gear, another left coast team, your Halos, Trev, and I hope they're roaming ready for this season, man, because they had me roaming ready for last season. I was all torqued up over the Halos, and you know what? That first month, it was long, it was strong. Got to keep the friction on.
First month was like this.
And then it went limp. And then it was time to get in touch with Roman because they are the digital health clinic for men. 52% of men over 40 experience some form of erectile dysfunction. Look at Chris Rose, flip a coin. That'll tell you what's going on. They're FDA-approved medication for as little as $4 a dose. Roman sends it right to your door, free 2-day shipping. Everything arrives in discreet packaging if you don't want the neighbors to know what's going on, but you want to address something, which all these teams are doing in their offseason. Go, new website alert, ro.co/Talkin. That's ro.co/Talkin for 20% off. If this is something you're dealing with, go address it. Why not? Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved one. We've got the technology.
They've got the tools. There's no stigma.
There's no stigma. We're putting that in our rear view.
No stigma. And you know what? Nobody wants a little
no.
Nobody wants that.
No. You got
We
to
can fix it.
Go take care of it. You've got a need. You can fix it with Roman. And there's a lot of other teams, Trevor, that are addressing their needs, including our Angels. They went out and signed Tyler Anderson, which I'll hold no punches early on for a lot of our listeners and the Halos fans that feel super Angels, and it doesn't feel that in a good way.
Oh, my gosh.
But you get into the numbers. You looked at some of the projected free agent signings. Everything is in the ballpark. And something that I don't know what it means, and maybe you'll have more on it. Maybe you won't care at all, Trev. The Angels' rotation right now, you're probably familiar with that Ohtani guy, and we'll see what the kids got for next year. But Tyler Anderson, Patrick Sandoval, Jose Suarez, Reed Detmers, there's a lot of lefties there with similar pitch mixes that I don't know if there's something you can tap into or some tribal knowledge you can share. Maybe there's something there. And if Tyler Anderson, Mr. Anderson, you Matrix guy at all, Trev? I know you've got.
I'm not.
No,
I wish I would. I've seen them. I think
I watched it on the flight home. It's pretty good. Tyler Anderson last year, 28 starts, a 2.57. He was with the Dodgers. He tapped into whatever they've got going on. Hopefully, he probably doesn't have to move houses, and he can bring whatever knowledge he took from the Dodgers to that rotation. And good for him, man. 32 years old. He turns 33 December 30th, and he gets a bag for himself. So where do you want to go with this, Trev?
I think we applaud Anderson and the Angels because we can't sit here and say, Angels, like, figure it out, get some pitching, and then get mad when they get pitching. Like, who cares if he's a lefty? Like, maybe some of that will sort itself out if there's going to be some trades. But I think looking at Angels Twitter, which I'm part of Angels Twitter a little bit.
Yeah.
They're happy with what's going on here. And then you get Urshela, that's some interesting stuff there because, obviously he's played a majority of third base. We've always heard how good he is and he could play anywhere in the infield, which I do believe. And now Nevin's saying, hey, maybe we move him to shortstop. Because you got a guy you paid a lot of money to play third base there also. So we'll see how that all turns out. But I think I like both of these moves for the Angels. I mean, Anderson, similar to what we were talking about with Swanson, just does not give up hard contact. And he did figure some stuff out with the Dodgers and maybe brings that over to the other lefties. Like, hey, this is what they told me, and it could help you. But it's a relatively cheap deal for them. I know they're looking to do some more stuff. I think they kind of have to. If you're Perry and the first couple years haven't really gone exactly how you plan them to go, right around that third year, I think people start expecting some different things out of you. And now you got to deal with the Shohei stuff too. So it's going to be an interesting season for the Angels, but I like the way this offseason has started. Two like very, very good Major League Baseball players came on and made your roster better.
Numbers. We love some numbers here. The Angels rotation right now, Shohei last year, a 2.33 ERA. Tyler Anderson, a 2.57. Patrick Sandoval, get him in your book a little more. He had a 2.91 ERA last year.
That's some of his rookie cards.
Whoops. Suarez and Detmers, 24 and 23 currently. Both had ERAs in the 3. Our guy Suarez just snuck in there. But, like you said, every time we talk about these Halos, there's one running joke. You could run into like every baseball fan across America, and you could make like an Angel starting pitching joke, and everyone would, ha, 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 nice. Hey, they went out and got a guy who shoved last year. If it's anything like he was last year for the next couple, the contract is an absolute bargain. If it lands somewhere in the middle, yep, that's kind of what you paid him. And we'll see if he can continue to live up to that. And for them, Gio Urshela, I love Gio. Gio was a shot of life to the Yankees when they needed it. He's still only 31. I mean, he's, go back. He's connected to some of those Cleveland Indians teams back when they were the Indians. But, he couldn't hit it all. He kind of figured it out with the Yanks. He had a down year. They punted on him. He had a really nice year for the Twins last year. I think he had a OPS plus of like 120. He's 121, 285, 338, 767 OPS, and what was a down year across baseball hitting wise. Those are really nice stats. He plays a fun third base. He has quick, good reactions. He was a soccer goalie growing up. You want a little analytics there, Trev? That he's kind of got that hot corner third base goalkeeper World Cup season. Are you kidding me? Soccer kit summer for Trev. I love me some Gio. That being said, Gio Urshela at shortstop for a year is not an answer. I mean, maybe for a game, he's got the hands, he's got the arm. The lateral movement is not there. That I wonder what this is. Is it just bringing in a good ball player and we're going to figure it out, and Rendon's gotten hurt the past couple years and we'll go from there? Is Rendon, are they going to try to move Rendon? I think he's considered, with injuries and everything going on with him, kind of one of the tougher contracts in baseball. Would they be willing, what would they be willing to do to move Tony Rendon? I don't know if they can. I don't know if they will. But like we come back to with the Halos, you'd love to see another starting pitcher. I know I complimented those guys, but Suarez and Detmers, both young as they figure it out. You'd love to see another righty, not that it fully matters, but sure. And then the lineup, Trev. I mean, normally not the Halos' problem, especially when you see Trout, Ohtani, Taylor Ward breaks out. What Rendon can be when he's right, Jared Walsh, Gio Urshela. There's still some left field and second base. Rengifo did some things last year, but honestly, a year where there's a ton of shortstops, you'd love to plug one of those guys in, but you could say that for every baseball team. So it's
the Angels are not going after one of those shortstops.
Yes.
That they're not doing.
Yeah, I know.
But look, I think you're right. Like, it's just adding a good ball player to the mix. They understand that injuries happen. So yeah, you have Rendon there. I don't think you're going to be able to move him unless they eat part of his deal. And that's not happening, bro. Yeah. So, a healthy Rendon at third base. And yeah, you got Fletcher and Rengifo and even Squid. I think Squid's still with them. You have those three guys to kind of figure out your middle infield. Now you add Urshela to that mix. And I think, mixing and matching there, I think they are actually going to look at him as a shortstop. I think they're going to, in their mind, it could work out for them. And if it doesn't, they have these other guys they can kind of plug and play and see how the season goes. The biggest thing for the Angels this year is Ohtani. What the fuck they're going to do with him, man? What are you going to do with that guy? He's a free agent at the end of the season, and you have shown nothing that you're going to re-sign him. You haven't given us any hope or anything. So to me, that means you got to trade this guy. And if you do that, when you talk about like deflating a fucking franchise, you trade the once in a lifetime ball player and get what for him? Imagine being the prospects that come back or the people that come back for Shohei. That's some pressure.
Just be this guy.
I don't know, man. You know, I want to give the Angels credit. I do. I want them to be good. We talk about this all the time. You know, as much as Angels fans like to say, everyone hates on us, bro. Like, it's like, yeah. Because we want to see those awesome players you have on your team like compete in the playoffs. But they're looking up at least two teams in their division, and Rangers are going a little bit. They're making some signings. I feel like the Rangers and the Angels. I might put the Angels above the Rangers, don't you?
I mean,
maybe. I think you have to.
It depends the rest of this offseason, right? And that's where, if you're the Angels in the front office, I know, Trev, I don't know if it'll ever happen, but God, I would love to know how front offices like truly work. Because if you're the Angels, part of being in a front office is flushing out every option, right? So they've had to have the conversation of like, if we did trade Ohtani, like what could that even look like? Or you know, even, I know it'll never happen. I know I shouldn't even dream on it, but when you're talking about a team that has a lot of holes and you're looking up at the two best teams in the division, like what could a Mike Trout trade do for you?
Stop.
I know it's not, Trev. I know it's not. But as a front office,
where's he going? The Yankees?
Don't you have to have that conversation of like, what would it?
Of course, they've talked about every
exactly
scenario.
that. Yes. I would love to hear all of those. Because Ohtani's one of the craziest things ever, right? You're getting 1 year of a guy that plays both ways, so you're getting basically a 2-year deal. I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's so complicated that they're probably not going to do anything, right? Because they're two of the best players in the world. Try to figure out anything else you can around it, and let's go from there. But, man, if you could clear the books with, we talked about that Rendon contract, and, you know, there's a lot of holes on that team, too. If you could plug 2 or 3 holes and clear the books so you could sign an impact free agent, I don't know. I don't think any of it's happening. But if you're the Angels, don't you also have to be real? The Mariners and Astros might be the 2 best teams in the American League. Texas is coming. I don't know, man. It feels like they need a little more of a game plan.
Can I do something right now?
Always.
Angels fans, just talk about it down here. Because I'm curious, too. Like, what's the path? We cover baseball. And yeah, we used to say this. We need to continue to say this. We used to say, you guys know your team better than we know your team. That's a fact.
I don't know shit.
So if we're just talking bullshit about the Angels, please let us know. I don't think we are, man. I'm confused as all hell. And I feel like Angels fans are probably thinking the same thing. You can get optimistic about this team. We talked about the starters. You talked about the ERA. We talked about, you know, they're young and exciting. We have 2 of the best players on the planet on this team. A healthy Rendon. We can freaking dream upon that. What's Taylor Ward doing? Is he Mike Trout or is he Trevor Plouffe? Trick question.
Same guy.
If we're talking about blitzball, I'm Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, everybody combined.
Yes.
Anyways, just tell us what's going on, Angels fans.
How about this, Trev? I'll get you a little horned up about it. Know who the Angels should be trying to copy? How about the Phillies? You know, didn't they just finish 3rd in their division? Don't they have a lot of star power? Can't you get into the playoffs now being 3rd in your division? Why not? But you got to add a couple stars, which I don't know if they're going to do that.
I'm trying to think. Okay, give me some. How can the Angels become the Phillies? I guess it's not too far off.
You got Ohtani and Trout, right? There's a star.
You need one more high-end starter.
Yeah.
High-end starter. Maybe Anderson's that guy. Maybe we're talking about, oh my gosh. Angels are the Phillies. They're both red. Brandon Marsh is going to play for both teams next year.
The Brandon Marsh World Series next year. Get ready for that.
They share him.
Yeah, you get whoever.
Phillies fans are not happy that we're comparing.
Oh, what a nightmare. They thought they were going to win the World Series. Now they're getting compared to the Halos on Thanksgiving. Brutal.
While we're here, Dombrowski just got extended. A little 3-year
Heyo.
tack on. Good for him.
My guy.
Go Phils.
That guy won't leave. Tales from the crypt, bro.
I can't wait to interview him.
This guy just has got one move. Fucking all in.
Hey, let's sign the best players. All right. I like it, Dave.
Best guys available. I'll take them.
Let's empty the farm system out and go get some fucking good players.
Hell yeah. No, he deserves credit. I'll stop. I want to admit to him one day that I'm a wrong short man.
If you were a GM, you'd be Dave Dombrowski.
Yeah, I want to be. That's the whole point. I get to trade the farm and sign everyone.
And then leave.
Yeah, deuces.
Someone else clean it up.
Just got re-upped.